Hi everybody, my name is Rupa, working as assistant professor in Chevron Engineering College. I am dealing the subject electronic controllers and drives, and today's topic in this is fourth unit. Today's topic is stator voltage control. Okay, so we are controlling the voltage of the stator of the induction motor, and this is the voltage control is done by two ways. It is stator and it is rotor. So this chapter will be including the stator voltage control, how the voltage is controlled from the stator side. We are going to discuss. Okay, so this is a three-phase induction motor syllabus. So first see here, stator voltage control. We are adjusting the stator voltage by reducing or increasing the stator voltage. We can decrease or increase the slip, right? So by if you reduce the stator voltage, the speed of the high slip induction motor. So we are considering this the induction motor in the high slip, and we are increasing the speed of the induction motor, right? So when the stator voltage is reduced and the speed of the high slip region induction motor is reduced. Okay, so now at that moment, this is sufficient for the speed control of the induction motor. Okay, so by increasing or decreasing the stator voltage at the high slip region in the induction motor, we can able to control the speed. Okay, so this we can see in the fans and pump drives example. We know that always torque will be directly proportional to the voltage square. Okay, T is directly proportional to V square, right? And we also know that from the previous equations, from the previous discussions, we also know that current is also proportional to voltage. Okay, so this is called as linearity. If the linearity is not there, then current is not proportional to the voltage, right? So here we are considering that it is a linear system and current will also be proportional to the voltage. So what happens? Voltage is reduced to reduce the speed. Okay, I am reducing the stator voltage to reduce the speed. And I am applying the same current for the motor at low torques only. While applying the current, same current to the motor at low torques, I am reducing the voltage to reduce the speed. And this type of method, it is consequently applicable to or suitable to applications where the torque demand will be reducing with speed. So if the application is desired with the reduction of torque, that means if the voltage is reduced, speed reduces. So it will be the speed will be reducing some decrease of torque with some decrease of torque. If it is okay for my application, then I can be able to use this type of method. Okay, so see here, actually this method is mainly used in fans and pump drives, and this method is also used while we are considering the copper losses, core losses, and friction and windage losses if all our losses are neglected. And from the equations before I discussed, we can say that the motor efficiency neta can be written as Pm by Pg, that is equal to 1 minus S. This is the diagram showing the stator voltage control. Okay, so here from the efficiency formula, from the equation, I can say that efficiency will be falling with decrease in speed. Okay, so if you want to obtain the speed to be constant, okay, or the speed to be controlled constant, this is actually decreased by this is actually what is that we say, dissipating. This is actually done by dissipating a portion of rotor power input. Okay, so if I am able to sacrifice some amount of input power, then I can be able to control this speed. So I can say that speed control is obtained by dissipating a portion of rotor power input. In the form of how the rotor power input will be dissipated, in the form of resistance, in the form of heat. So what happens if the power is dissipated? This overheats the rotor. So actually, as this is the disadvantage of the induction motor, these drives are employed in fan and pump drives, which are having very low power rating and only for narrow speed range. Okay, and we are able to control the speed in a very narrow range. So that's why the application is limited to only fans and pump drives. So in many applications, we can control the speed, but it is not possible. It is not applicable. It is not efficient. And this variable voltage for the speed control, is obtained using AC voltage controllers. So our chapter is also that one only, stator side control of three-phase by AC voltage regulators. So by using the AC voltage regulators, how we vary the speed and how we vary the voltage and control the speed of the induction motor. Okay. Now, so next topic is control by AC voltage controllers and soft start. How we control the induction motor by AC voltage controllers and how we softly start them. Okay, so the applications are here we use mainly in domestic fan motors. If you are using a single phase motor, we are using one type of triac voltage controller, and if you are choosing a three-phase voltage controller, then we are using other types. So here you can see two types of induction motors. First one is one single phase induction motor, and second one second figure is three phase induction motor. Okay, so this single phase induction motor, these motors are mainly used for domestic fan motors, and these are always single phase, and these are controlled by a single phase triac voltage controller. So this symbol is a symbol for triac. This is a single phase triac voltage controller. Okay, so here we can obtain the speed control. We can attain the speed control by varying the triac firing angle. So as the thyristors, these triacs are also having the firing angles. So if you vary the firing angles of the triac, we can be able to adjust the speed here. Okay, so speed control here also obtained by adjusting the or controlling the firing angle of the triac. So these controllers are called as solid state fan regulators. These controllers, A figure controllers, are called as solid state fan regulators. These are having very high efficiencies because losses are not there. These are having very high efficiencies. And coming to the three-phase induction motor, here in single-phase triac controllers, we are using a domestic fan motors, right? Application is domestic fan motors. But coming to the three-phase induction motors, this application, this is used in the applications of industrial fans and pumps. Okay, so generally, if you see the industrial fans and pumps, these are usually driven by a three-phase motors. Okay, so figure shows you commonly used thyristor voltage controllers for speed control of three-phase motors. So these motors can be connected in star connection, either in star connection or in delta connections. Suppose if you take in delta connections, third harmonic voltage produced by the motor back EMF, it causes the circulating current through the windings. Okay, so in delta connection, we will get third harmonic voltage produced. So this voltage will be this harmonic voltage will be produced by the back EMF. This causes the circulating current through the windings, and because we are getting the third harmonic voltage produced, we are getting increased losses, and there will be increasing thermal load on the motor also. Thermal load means nothing but heating load, temperature increase load. Okay, so here also the speed control is obtained by varying conduction period of the thyristors. These thyristors conduction period is varied, and we can control the speed by varying the conduction period of the thyristors. For low power ratings, when we are dealing with low power ratings, these anti-parallel thyristors. So if you see in the diagram how the thyristors are placed, these are placed anti-parallel, right? So these anti-parallel thyristors in each phase. So this is first phase, second phase, and third phase. Okay. So each pair in this anti-parallel thyristor can be replaced by a triac. So what I am showing the diagram is for high power ratings. Right. So this diagram is for high power ratings, and if you want to change it for low power ratings, we can replace the pair of thyristors in each phase by a triac like this. We can simply put this triac here, and remove this anti-parallel thyristors. See here, these are connected anti-parallel. And see, it is a single phase, it is three phase. Okay, so when you come to the voltage controllers, what is the characteristics of the voltage controllers? These allow, actually voltage controllers will be allowing stepless control of voltage from its zero value, right? So this is the characteristics of the voltage controller. So both in single phase and three phase, this voltage controller what we are using also, this allows stepless control of voltage from its initial value, that is from its zero value only. And they are also used for soft start of motors. Soft start of motors means without any jerks and without any hunting noise. These are started without any troubles. So this is called as soft starting. And say here, if you increase the firing angle, both the distortion factor and displacement factor reduce, and this leads to a low power factor. Okay, so when we increase the firing angle, what happens? Distortion factor and displacement factor both will be reducing, and this results in the low power factor. Suppose if you take in fans and pump drives, this fluid, the fluid user in this has to be maintained constant against the, what are the consequences the fans and pump drives are bearing. So what are the consequences it is bearing? First one, pressure heat. Second one, what is the nature of the pumped fluid used in it? Okay, so it has to maintain constant, the fans and the pump drives. In the fans and pump drives, we are using the fluid. So this fluid has to be maintained constant against the variations in the two types of pressures. First one is pressure head, and second one is what is the nature of pumped fluid. So it will be always operated in closed loop speed control. In order to maintain a constant against the variations of the pressure and the pump fluid, nature of pump fluid, it has to be operated in closed loop speed control. So here there is no possibility of braking, because here if you use braking, fluid pressure will be producing adequate braking torque. So it is not a possible thing. So braking is not used, as the fluid pressure will be producing adequate braking torques. Next, we will see variable frequency control from voltage sources. In that, we will see the first topic, variable frequency control from the voltage sources. So, variable frequency from we are controlling the frequency by varying it, and it is from voltage sources only. The frequency is coming from the voltage sources only. So, in that first one, variable frequency control of a induction motor. See, we are assuming this. We are taking these assumptions. First one, NS, that means a synchronous speed of the stator side voltage is, stator is controlled by varying supply frequency. Okay, so the synchronous speed is controlled by varying supply frequency, and voltage induced in the stator will be directly proportional to air gap flux, product of air gap flux and supply frequency or frequency of the supply. Right, and from this the terminal voltage can be directly proportional to, is directly proportional to frequency and flux. Here, for taking this formula, terminal voltage is directly proportional to frequency and flux. I am assuming that stator drop is neglected. Right, and the stator drop is neglected, then only terminal voltage will be directly proportional to frequency and flux. So when I reduce the frequency, see here, I am varying the frequency. First, I am reducing the frequency, but terminal voltage will not be changed, but there will be increase in air gap flux, right? Though terminal voltage is not increased, when frequency is decreases, it causes an increase in the air gap flux. Actually, if you see that induction motors, the characteristics of induction motors, these induction motors are operated at knee point of magnetization characteristics, because they have to, they will be in the sense to make use of full magnetic material. So always they will be operating at the knee point or at the magnetizing characteristics. So as the flux air gap flux will be increasing, what happens? Motor will be saturating. Okay, so this increases the magnetizing current, right? As the flux increases, obviously magnetizing current will also be increased. So as the magnetizing current will be increasing, the distort line current and voltage will be increasing. Okay, so thus the line and the voltage and the current line will be distorting, and this increases the core losses and stator copper losses. So what happens when the core losses and stator copper loss increases? These produce a high pitch acoustic noise. From the machines, we will get a high pitch acoustic noise like a guitar. Guitar will be sometimes termed as acoustic guitar, right? So it will be of high pitch. These noises will be of high pitch. So this high pitch noise is called as acoustic noise. Okay. So as the magnetizing current will be increasing due to the air gap flux, there will be a distort in the line of current and voltage. Right? So when there is a distort in the voltage and current, there will be increase in core losses and stator copper losses, and they produce high pitch acoustic noise. Okay. Now, if you see variable frequency control below the rated frequency is at rated air gap flux. So when we obtain this rated air gap flux, when you vary the terminal voltage with frequency, and we have to maintain V by F ratio as constant at rated value, then we will get the variable frequency at most efficient. Okay, so from the points, I can say that P maximum from the before discussed equations or before chapters, I can say that T max is equal to K into V by F whole square divided by R by S. Rs by f plus or minus Rs by f whole square plus 4 pi square into Ls plus Lr dash whole square. Okay, so here I am taking K is as a constant and Ls and Lr dash are, Ls means stator inductance and Lr dash, it is the stator referred rotor inductance. Okay, stator refer, actually Ls means stator inductance, Lr means rotor inductance, right? So I am taking Lr dash. Okay, so what is it means? Stator referred rotor inductance. As we take in the transformers, phi2 dash. Phi2 dash means, or I2 dash, that means I2 dash means secondary current referred to primary, right? So here also rotor resistance referred to stator, Lr dash means. Okay, so here we can see plus or minus, right? Plus or minus I am seeing here. What is this plus or minus? It is positive sign will be indicating the motor operation and negative sign will be indicating the braking operation. Okay, for forward motoring we have to take here plus, and for braking we have to take minus. And when frequency is not low, that means Rs by f is not less than less than 2 pi by Ls plus Lr dash. So if the frequency is not low, that means 2 pi Ls plus Lr is greater than Rs by f. If this term, if the second term is greater than Rs by f, then I can modify the equation as T maximum is equal to plus or minus K into V by f whole square by 2 pi Ls plus Lr dash. Okay, so as the frequency is not low, I am actually neglecting the Rs by f whole square term, because Rs by f whole square is very much less than this 2 pi Ls plus Lr dash term. So I can neglect and modify the equation. So this is 6.70. Okay, so now from this 6.70 equation, it suggests that with a constant V by F ratio, the rotor will be developing a constant maximum torque. Okay, so this condition is what I am saying is at constant V by F ratio. So if you are taking this constant V by F ratio, okay, so the rotor will also be maintaining a constant maximum torque. But this condition, what I have said, is not applicable at low speeds. Or if you take low frequencies also, it is not applicable. Okay, if V by F is constant, then the motor also makes constant maximum load torque. This is not applicable in low frequencies and speed. This is only applicable at high frequencies and high speeds. So when this happens, what is the motor condition? Now the motor will be operating in constant torque mode. So we can say that the motor is operating in constant torque mode. So if you see the equation before equation 6.69, if you take this for low frequencies or low speeds, due to the stator resistance drop. Okay, so what is the stator resistance drop? This Rs by F is called as stator resistance drop. Okay, so if you do not neglect this Rs by F when compared to 2 pi into Ls plus Lr square, then what happens means the maximum torque will have lower value in motoring operation. That is, in positive operation, the maximum torque will have, whether it is in maximum torque, but the maximum torque value is very low there in the motoring operation. And coming to the braking operation, it will be larger value. Okay, so if you do not neglect, that means if you take this equation with RS by F, what is RS by F? Stator resistance drop. So if I keep the stator resistance drop also in the equation, the maximum torque value will be low. For what? For motoring operation, for positive sign, and the maximum torque value will be high for braking operations. That means for, if you put minus here. Okay, so this behavior, actually this behavior is due to the reduction in the flux during motoring operation. So here the flux will be reduced. Here the flux will be reduced. The value of flux will be reduced. So the maximum torque will be low. And the value of flux will be increased here in the braking operation. So the value will be high. The value will be high in the braking operation. So when it is required, if you want to make the torque constant there, so we do not require any low and high values. So if you want to maintain the maximum torque at normal speeds, we have to increase the V by F ratio at low frequencies. So if the V by F ratio is increased at the low frequencies, then we can attain maximum torque. But this further increase in maximum braking torque. Okay, so when the maximum torque will be increasing the braking operation, if you control the V by F ratio, the torque will be still increased. Actually, it will be high, but it will be still increased in the braking operation. And considerably, what happens if the torque increases like this? Maximum torque, saturation of the machine will be attained. So mainly, first the saturation of the machine will be attained in the braking operations. Okay, so when either V saturates or it reaches the rated value at base speeds only. So at low speeds only, when the V saturates, what happens? We cannot increase the value of voltage with frequency, right? So actually we have to, what is our aim? We have to increase or decrease the voltage with respect to the frequency and control the speed of the induction motor, right? So what happens if V saturates? There is no possibility of increasing the voltage with respect to frequency. So in the base speeds only we are attaining this position. So therefore above base speeds, what I have said, the frequency is changed with maintaining V as constant. So we are not allowing the V to be saturated and we are putting the V to be constant, and I am changing the frequency above the base speed. Okay, so according to the equation 6.70 here, V is maintained constant here.